let's talk about runes, okay? Everybody's talking about runes. And just remember the days when ordinals first came around, BRC20s as well, a few months later. Nobody was talking about them. It was very hard to get anybody to notice them. I mean, there's evidence even from my channel. You could see some of the videos were not getting much attention at those times. You know, even months after ordinals were around, weeks and months after, still not many people showing up. People eventually figured it out and started getting their wallets and started getting to BRC20s and hearing their favorite influencers or, you know, whatever have you, content creators, whatever the terms are, you know, speaking about ordinals, BRC20s and so forth and so forth. A lot of those people have kind of disappeared. Let's look at quickly right now the market, just the general overall market. Not too long ago, the market has more or less flipped bearish essentially this month, okay? The month that this video has been released in, right? Or is being released in. So you could see for yourselves, these are just metrics, but things are looking fairly bearish. Am I bearish on the markets in general? No, I'm not, but I can definitely tell that there's, you know, something going on, let's just say. So let's look again, even a little bit deeper. You see the total crypto market cap. We're kind of reaching that point. We've touched those levels. We're cooling off a bit. As you see, the altcoin indicator right here suggests that we're still not so much in an altcoin season. So we're down here in the red, as you see, is more of a Bitcoin season, which probably means that Bitcoin dominance is going up. So why don't we quickly take a look? And yeah, what we're going to see is, of course, Bitcoin's price is kind of breaking down. But if we looked at the dominance, we'll definitely see that dominance is actually up. So why not take a look at the dominance there? And we could see that dominance has spiked up. And this is on a daily. Typically, we'd be looking at Bitcoin on a weekly, but just to show you more granular, get a more of a granular look, we can see that Bitcoin's dominance is on the move up since April 2nd, when the market turned bearish. Dominance is up. Now, also, if we look over here as well, let's head back over here. But if we look at Ethereum BTC, we could see that right here, this line here represents the Bitcoin halving. And we'll talk about the Bitcoin halving in a moment. But you can see that Ethereum's going down, 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 down against Bitcoin, which is a sign that suggests alt season is not quite here. Is this a great time to buy Ethereum? Well, perhaps it was a better time to buy Ethereum. It is a better time to buy Ethereum now compared to, you know, some weeks ago. Sure, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, perhaps, you know, but you could clearly see dominance of ETH, of Bitcoin's going up. Price of Bitcoin's going up faster than the price of Ethereum is going up, as you see, right? So I wouldn't fade that, because a lot of people faded this information, faded ordinals during the time when you should have been paying close attention. You can't really fade tech on the biggest chain. It makes no sense at all. Okay, now look, let's get into some pre-runes collections, okay? You're going to notice that pre-runes collections are causing a big stir in the markets. People are flipping over pre-runes, especially the Runestone. Right? So if you guys are unfamiliar with Runestone, then you should absolutely watch this video right here. I'll probably actually most definitely link it so you can watch it, because this video here goes over a lot about the Runestone and what it means, the creator of the Runestone, and what it means for you to hold it. Right? And we're going to talk about some of that today. But you look at the runes collections, the pre-runes collections. All of these collections are essentially promising you some type of runes tokens in the future, because they're still ordinals, and runes, even though runes is a new protocol, a new token standard, it's not that different from BRC20s. It's better in the sense that it allows you to have lower transaction fees. You can even split up your transactions, do multiple actions in one transaction. So for example, let's just say you could send tokens to multiple people all at once. So it's great for rewarding your community, and it's also perfect for meme coins. So we're going to talk about meme coins today as well, because let's talk about meme coins on Bitcoin. First of all, we've been talking about what I guess you can consider to be altcoins on Bitcoin for so long. Altcoins on Bitcoin, people were still fading it. I don't actually understand. I don't understand how you could fade altcoins on Bitcoin when you know that Bitcoin has the most incredible amount of liquidity of all blockchains. Period. right? So the Bitcoin halving is in about 3 days, maybe the 20th of April, which a lot of people are hoping for, maybe the 19th of April. As you see, it's kind of right on the edge, of April 29th, but we'll see. It really depends on how quickly these blocks get passed. Let's leave this here just so we can have that visual there. It depends on how quickly these blocks get passed. Who knows, right? Some of them may be 10 minutes apart. Some of them may be 15 or 30 minutes apart, or even more, as you can see here, right? 20 some odd minutes apart, 2 minutes apart. So block time is not necessarily 10 minutes on average, which you might see here, roughly 10 minutes. It could be much more, it could be much less. So this timing could be very different. It could be April 20th, it could be April 18th if things go faster. Most likely in and around April 20th. Hence the reason why on this chart I have it lined up with this line right here on the 20th of the month, essentially, right? So I wouldn't fade any of these collections. As a matter of fact, dare I say more or less, I would grab any and every one if you have the funds to do so, right? Because what they're going to do is oftentimes, in most cases, not every single one, but most cases, they're going to offer you some type of runes. If see, for example, it says miner, right? Any of these miners are going to be in like something like this. I talk about this Nothing Cube. I talked about like this other miner series, season 2. They had the season 1. There's another one miner. There's the let's see. There's this one. There's a boost right here. There's the unnamed one. There's the Ape Odyssey. A lot of these will give you some whitelisting spots or like again, tokens pre-mined so that when the Runes protocol actually goes live, you will receive X amount of tokens based on whatever, your holdings, right? And what I want to talk about today is why I believe Runes is going to be pretty much the biggest pump and dump known to man, okay? In the crypto space, of course, that is. Now, why would I consider Runes overall to be the biggest pump and dump? Well, let's quickly just take a quick look at some of these tokens. Like probably people don't even use this website anymore. It's hilarious. But all of these BRC20 tokens that were running the show for the past year, essentially the past year, right? Almost the past 13 months, essentially. In my opinion, when it comes to adoption, we always talk about more adoption. You're going to hear your favorite influencer, favorite recorder, favorite individual speaking about adoption. We need mass adoption. In my opinion, we don't need anything. People will get in when they get in. You need to focus on getting yourself in position for the time that this quote unquote mass adoption hits, right? Now, there's a new shiny object coming to town and it's called Runes. And there's the OG set that's called BRC20. When the dust settles, and it's time to actually exit the market, I'm curious, do you think that people are going to exit the market when it's altcoin season and it's super blasting all the way, as you see, so red all the way down here, so red, super altcoin season? Are people going to be selling off their BRC20s or are they going to be selling off their Runes? You guys let me know. Drop a comment. I'm super curious. I don't know the final answer on this. Only time will tell. But all of these BRC20s, of course, already Oshi, Pups is brand new coming out, getting on the scene with a lot of attention these days from everybody. Track with all the controversy, Voya, the connection there with Merlin and Maxi being one of the earliest memes, of course, meme itself being one of the earliest memes, probably the first meme on Bitcoin, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, but also not necessarily guaranteed to be the first meme on Bitcoin because we have X-Chain tokens as well. So I wouldn't really want to be the one to say that this is the very first meme coin ever, right? But you just look at BRC20s and the market capitalizations of these. You got Mubi, people love that, Pups, Sats. A lot of these are fair mints, guys, fair mint. This community driven. That is beyond anything that most meme coins could ever imagine. Somebody minted them and they put them into the supply. Well, a lot of these, not every single one of them, but a lot of these have been minted by the community. I mean, you look at something like Zbit, to be honest, it's a disappointment because for a lot of us didn't even have a chance to claim our Zbit that we were entitled to because apparently the system was hacked over at Ordinals or Ordinals bot, sorry, right? So now they've got something else going, like fair, free and fair is the way. I don't want to have to just put it like that because I'm not expecting everybody to make a product and just give it away for free to everybody just because we want it free. No, but fair creates a completely different narrative, okay? That's why I don't want to do it again, but this is why I spoke about fair mints in the past multiple times. If you look through the channel, fair launches, you'll see it multiple times, okay? This is why fair is the way, because it eliminates any centralization, or, well, that's not entirely true. It mitigates some of it, and it definitely eliminates a lot of just like pre-picking of people who own X amount. No, you have to actually click the button and mint it yourself and spend your cash to be part of the system, part of this culture, let's say. So something like Sats or Ordi. I'm using Sats because the total supply was so high that it took several months for this thing to mint out, okay? Now, and I don't wish to call out any names. I'm just saying Track because of the controversy, and Zbit because of also the controversy. But it seems like, you know, the Pepe, of course, Orange, people got into that heavily. Meme, as you see right there, that same one, right? There's so many. There's so many. Domo's there, Maxi. Guys, think, and then Alex, of course, B20, right? For Alex Lab. So many of these have a lot of power and a lot of use cases. In my opinion, this is why we're going to see a lot of these Runes tokens just be serious pump and dumps, because you ask the OGs in the ordinal space, the guys who have been here collecting all these collections, not necessarily any of them by any specific name or any, you know, I'm talking about the guys and gals who've been collecting these different assets, these ordinals collections, going through minting, flipping since literally over a year ago. Do you think that a lot of these people are just going to drop these classics that they've had in place of the new guy? To be honest, guys, no. Nobody was watching when ordinals came around. Nobody was watching when BRC20s came around. Of course, not nobody, because if you were there, then you're not a nobody. But everybody's watching now. Meme coins are hot. You got Dogecoin, of course. I wouldn't talk about the top 2 or 3, especially one that is an actual blockchain, right? But the other smaller ones, especially the Pepe, that's not even the quote unquote the real Pepe. These things can definitely get to look at the market caps. Look. I can't make this up. $1 billion. Couple billion here, couple billion there, close to $1 billion, half a billion. If these guys can reach $1 billion valuations or more, especially as we get closer to the bull market. Look at this, is down 25% on 7 days, still 500 million. Come on. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because the creator of this whole, well, he didn't necessarily make the actual runestone, but as a matter of fact, let me get one of these runestones on the screen just so that we know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? They're being bought up as we speak, okay? Anytime this thing touches 0.075 or a certain other numbers below that as well, they just get eaten up, all right? At one point in time, there were 112,000 holders. Now, there are 76,000 holders. That's a sign that there's more consolidation going on, more accumulation. People are grabbing this and collecting multiples because they know what's to come. Let's talk about what's to come. Dog, the airdrop of Dog, and I don't know what the name is going to be just yet, but it's going to be a runes token, all right? And it's going to be airdropped to holders of rune stones. So if you have at least one of these, you will receive an equal allocation of Dog split up in 112,000.4, right? You know, essentially. So everybody will get an equal share. Now, the beautiful thing is that they do not plan to pay any centralized exchange to list Dog, whatever the name is going to be when it comes. And by the way, when it comes, runes will be starting on block 840,000. Okay, for those of you who don't know, you may want to pause. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more clearly. You may want to pause the screen or print the screen and read this so that you know what the Bitcoin halving is, right? I do want to speak about the Bitcoin halving as well, but I'm going to come back to this briefly. Come back to that in a moment. So the reason why this is so powerful is because if everybody who owns a runestone is going to receive an equal share of this token when it launches, this rune token, then if based on the numbers that we see here, the total supply, if that Dog token reaches a $1 billion market cap, as you see, sorry, $1 trillion market cap, $1 billion market cap, pardon me, $1 billion market cap, then each of these allocations will be worth roughly $8,000, maybe a little bit more, okay? Just by doing numbers. Now that is huge. So this is also why people are grabbing up these runestones like they're going out of style, right? They want their collectibles because they know what's going to happen. You're going to get showered by many companies, many different projects with various allocations, maybe whitelist spots, as they've already been doing. I'll give you guys one quick example of one. There are many, but I'm going to give you one example of one that has done pretty well. Is a pre-runes collection, and they simply gave access to anybody holding runestones. So something like this one called Runes Whispers, it was about 7.001 to mint, something like that. Anyway, it's up, and all you had to do was hold a runestone to be eligible to mint one of those, or sorry, to mint a bunch of those, right? So holding those runestones is giving people so much access. So now Leonidas, be sure that you know the right Leonidas, because there are so many people scamming right now, pretending to be this gentleman. It's so unfortunate, and there's only so much he can do, right? He's got a great website. We use it all the time. Do check it out, of course. But he's going to be dropping 3 tokens. 3 runes tokens to runestone holders. So this is why people are collecting these runestones, because they know there's going to be a culture around this, a culture of giving, a culture of free and fair. Let's make that clear. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that they're going to blow up and explode, but if you can have like meme coins on various blockchains, various like Solana, or even some L2s like DGen and stuff like that, L3s get close to 1 billion maybe. This is not clear necessarily at 1 billion, but DGen, for example, is definitely going to be going to 1 billion. Like, to me, that's kind of obvious, right? But a lot of these on Solana or on ETH and such, they're up here in the billions already. They're already here. So why couldn't we see a Bitcoin meme go to 1 billion at least, if we already have so much interest in runes? Guys, if you were to pause the video and just search the word runes or runestone or Bitcoin runes in any app, I don't want to name one, you're going to find several people speaking about it, several posts or videos about it already. If you rewound 1 year ago and you did this, you would not see the same type of adoption for BRC20s. My point is, runes in general will be the biggest pump and dump. And that's not necessarily a negative. That's a sign that more adoption has come, because people will dump hard on new investors. That's just the bottom line. And for the new people coming into Ordinals, the new shiny object is, of course, runes. And of course, we have this beautiful runestone here. Maybe the number 1 shiny object. So if you don't own a runestone, I've been telling you guys to grab your runestones for so long. I don't know what to say. If you didn't do it, I can't help you. I tried to help you, but I'm glad. I'm not even trying to rub it in. I'm just saying, if you want to put a little risk on the table, grab yourself one of these runes at this high valuation and hold that thing, because those airdrops will most likely pay for this thing. Give it a couple of days or weeks. So now, quickly, let's go to the Bitcoin halving, right? The thing about the Bitcoin halving that I think is very interesting, let me zoom out again, is that I have a feeling that the effects of the halving won't be as great as people hope, because what people are looking forward to is the price of Bitcoin doubling or tripling in a short period of time. I've already heard many times that the price of Bitcoin would have doubled or tripled a long time ago, like from way back here, somewhere here. Like the price would have doubled, by April 20th, or by the halving, the price could have. It's like, what? Like I heard the arguments, and I thought about it. And I just said, I don't know. I don't think so. It's possible still, because when you first started out, there were 50 Bitcoins, okay, as rewards per block. Then it, roughly 4 years later, 210,000 blocks later, it went to 25, okay? Then 12.5 BTC. Now we're already down at 6.25 BTC per block, okay? Each of these blocks that's cleared, each of these industries, you see these businesses here, they each essentially received for pending this block, they received 6.25 BTC, okay? And that is going down to 3.125. My point is, though it is still a 50% difference, it's far from 50 going to 25, then from 25 going to 12.5. It's 6 going to 3. The number is getting smaller and smaller, so the returns are diminishing. The impact is diminishing. That's as far as I understand. To my knowledge, to what I see. But then if we consider in the future, the next halving is going to be an even smaller impact on the total amount of Bitcoin, even though it's still percentage-wise the same. We're looking at 1 point something another. And then the following halving, which would be roughly, let's say 2032, is when we'll have the Bitcoin halving. Plus we have the event where the difficulty will also increase. So the rewards will be cut in half yet again. Not the next one, not the next halving, but the following halving, the rewards will be cut in half again. And then there will also be an increase of difficulty. So that to me is going to be the time where there might be a huge change in the crypto markets, in the Bitcoin price and overall, right? So we'll touch on that in the future. I don't want to go too deep into that. Guys, check me out over here on X. Why not? Get yourselves a runestone. And if you don't want to get a runestone, I understand the price is a little bit high in some cases. Well, consider getting some type of pre-runes collection. I'm not going to say which one or which ones. Do what you can, see what fits your budget. But I would suggest possibly being there and being on time, because when something is going to be a pump and dump, you don't want to be the one buying the top. That's all I'm going to say, all right? All the best to you guys. Look, watch this video right here on runestones, and also consider taking a look at this other video to dive deeper into builders on Bitcoin, creating Bitcoin layers, side chains, and whatever have you, strengthening interoperability with Bitcoin, DeFi, altcoins, all of it. All the best to you guys. Take it easy.